to tell you, yes, it's coming. Trying to tell you, yes, it's coming. He ain't coming through the back door, no, it's cracking the sky. Whole world just in the more, all sins must die. Curses like what's real, but you thought it's a play. Any personal kingdom won't serve with slaves. Pitch dark and no day, walking out like in this day. As one escaped from a lion was met back up there. Or he escaped into his house, laid his hands on the wall. Soon he thought he was free, was bit by a slave. The day of Messiah is darkness, no light in it. Extreme darkness, no brightness. A day of vengeance for the righteous. He promised that he will come to redeem his people, reconcile us to the highest. He's coming to destroy these kingdoms. Won't the tabernacle with Edom. You forsook the brotherly covenant. The pride of your heart deceived you. Exalt yourself as the eagle, who habitations on high. The greater are, the harder the fall. You set your nest on the stars. Trying to tell you, yes, it's coming. 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 For the fight is against your brother Jacob, he's coming to wreck the pits. When the strangers carried his captives away, you entered into his fist. Cast your eyes on land Jerusalem, even claimed to be his people. Laid your hands on our substance, defile the land with your evil. This day is upon you, heathen, as you've done to our people. In return to your own hand, you will drink the cup of your evil. Deliverers come from Ahayah, Yah's will deliver our people. He will give us our inheritance, you heathen will be our possession. They will stand and feed our flocks, handmaids and handmaids. Every Jew upon his own tree, living in peace in the shade. Now I gave the good news first, say the words but last. Everything that's written must come to pass. It's to the Jew first with the blessings, to the Jew first with destruction. He promised to recompense evil, cause we as people thought he wasn't. He would clean his floor, start with his own sanctuary, entrusted us with his laws, commanded us to be obedient. To whom much is given, much is required. Paradise is obedient, hellfire for the rebel. Trying to tell you, yes, it's coming. 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 Let's open this Bible. Matthew chapter 3, starting at verse 7. When he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees coming to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers, who have warned you to flee from the wrath to come. Bring forth therefore fruit meet for repentance, and think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you, that Ahayah is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. And now also the axe is laid into the root of the tree.
There's something wrong with that one.
Therefore every tree which bringeth forth not good fruit,
this right here.
down and cast into the fire.
He put it there. He put it there. Everything came up. It's not what he didn't come up.
He didn't come
With the camera on
whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He should baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire, whose fan is in his hand. And he will thoroughly purge his floor and gather his wheat into the garden. But he will burn up the chaff with unquenchable fire. I can hear them sirens, I hear them trumpets ringing, I hear them angels crying, I hear them angels cheering. Ahayah release Yasha, told me to go and get them, and I gon' come in with them, coming to take the kingdom, on their fiery horses, thousands of the choices, coming to fight Satan and his Taliban, coming with the rap. The fury of the the great I am. Last of the sun, I'm back with your creator. Same promise to rule from the north like his creator. Time no longer takes no sin, a higher rate of patience. Satan to see the whole world and weaken all the nations. This the hour all the saints and prophets praying for. The cup of fury give our adversaries service. The angels of no mercies waiting in the pits of hell. All our adversaries dragged to the fiery jail. That kingdom come, let the will be done as it's in heaven. Time to execute judgment in the earthly realm. The valley of decision, valley of Jehoshaphat. It's grabbing, drinking blood and dragging down the wine fat. Wake up your mighty man, prepare yourself for war. Beat your prudent hooks of spears, fire shares the sword. Ahayah than the Lord, what you done to us. Yahweh took the glory, brought you down to mere dust. He flies into the air, make a moan with hands. Leave the nations confounded, they can't comprehend. Where his strength come from, the only begotten sons. Prophesied to redeem and bring our kingdom. In their weaponry, they put their trust in. They have one desire to overcome the king. Over his mouth and roar, I go with flames of fire. All who heard the sound, instantly devoured. All you can see is smoke, you can smell the stench. We thank God that deceiver heading to the pit. Eternal torments, what they anticipate to be cast and destroyed into the fiery lake. From the powers of Paul, just is the judgment of the Most High. And there is no acceptance of persons with the Most High. For whoever hath done mercy, on them he will have mercy. And whoever shall have not pity, neither shall Ahayah pity him. Let him therefore be handed over to the angel torturer, who is set over the punishment, and let him place him in outer darkness, where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Let's get it, family. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Everybody good today?
Khan.
Yeah. Yeah. I am Elder Ahayah. This is Brother Iran to my left from Waking Highland Church. Sent you all another Sabbath lesson with the grace of the Most High. All hail Ahayah.
All hail Ahayah.
All hail Ahayah.
All hail Ahayah.
My people, today's title is Glorious is the fall / destruction of Babylon for the righteous. Glorious is the fall / destruction of Babylon for the righteous. Okay. I don't know about you all, but I see prophecy at hand full speed. Babylon's falling. And when the enemy has a trick up their sleeve, they don't expose it right away. But it's dawned on me in the last few months with this information coming out. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, according to prophecy. Before we get started, I want to say Shabbat Shalom to all those who are watching us. Shabbat Shalom, family. And if anyone watching us on Facebook, could you please switch over to our YouTube page, Awakening Ahayah Select Church. If you don't know how to spell it, it's behind me on the wall. And share it, like it, please. But one of the major topics that's going on in today's news, well, underground news or social media, how you want to call it, they're not really talking about it on the mainstream news networks, but the U.S. dollar currency losing its strength. Mm-hmm. I know how to say it. I forgot how to say the word. The D-dollar. How you say it? The USD. The de-dollaration. How you say it? The devaluing of the U.S. currency or the U.S. dollar. Those who understand, for like the last 80 years, America really built its strength with the petrodollar. You know what petrodollar is? What it is that America had made many agreements with other countries to buy their oil with the U.S. dollar. That's a lot of money, especially. And so what's going on now, according to prophecy, the Most High said he would put his spirit in these other nations to hate America. We're going to read a scripture where it says that her shame would be seen. Okay? Now, many people like to refer to Babylon as only as America, but it is talking about America, but also it's talking about the whole world, the whole world, religious institutions in their kingdom, because the kingdoms are established based off religion. If you read in the Bible, all the kings had sorcerers, magic practicing priests. Okay? It's built off paganism. But here's the thing. The Most High say that, like again, he'll put his spirit in these nations to see her shame and to despise her. And right now, many Eastern African countries are coming together, creating their own currency. Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Russia, all these countries are coming together against the U.S. And once the U.S. loses the strength of its currency, it's a wrap. She has no more power as she once had. So what would that create? As the Bible says, World War III. The Bible prophesied World War III. It's a hand. Not gonna get on into that, but it's a lot going on according to prophecy. But we must understand the reason the title is "Glorious is the fall / destruction of Babylon for the righteous," because the Most High said he will recompense all those who harmed his people, all those who deceived his people, all those who led his people astray. Just as in the days before the flood, the Most High had the judges of the earth at that time, which were called giants or Nephilims, fight against one another. It was called the Great Clash of the Titans. To punish them for what they did to the righteous. And then he wiped them off the face of the earth. Every nation that has ruled over us, the Most High has punished and destroyed. As a foreshadowing of what he's ultimately has prepared to do from the beginning in the end of the world, or the end of Satan's kingdom. He will use these nations to punish all those who harm the apple of his eye. Then he's going to destroy them. Within that, all Israel who are not Israel should be destroyed. All Israel who is not Israel should be destroyed. What that means? Just because you're an Israelite does not mean you have a guaranteed pass to the kingdom. The Bible says, come out of her, my people. Well, you can't come out the whole world. You can get a plane ticket, you can escape and go to Africa, wherever you want to go to. You're still in Babylon. They're not keeping the Most High's government over there. His laws, 7 commandments are not being taught nor followed. So all sorcerers, sinners, has a judgment at hand. Like the Bible says, the whole earth will melt with fervent heat. You can't escape that. And when the Most High gathers people, when we do, those who are living still, do take the Exodus to the wilderness, as always, we'll be led angelically. In order. The Most High is not a God, an author of confusion, but he's a God of order. Every time that we have fled somewhere, he gave us help. And he said that the whole earth would know what he's doing when he's doing what he's doing. So it won't be a secret thing. Just like in Egypt. It was noisy broad what the Most High was doing for his people. Let me see something. Excuse me for a minute. Like, check this out, right? I'm in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 in the Apocrypha. So again, like I said, the Most High, He does not change. When we was in Egypt, when Pharaoh had made the decree to destroy our male children into the Red Sea, and He brought the plagues on the land of Egypt, on the great and the small, and all the cattle and beasts. Listen to what the people came to the conclusion of. It's as He prophesied again that the whole earth would know that these things are being done by our God and for His people. As it's prophesied, it says that they would grab a hold on the skirt of him that is a Jew. So we heard that God is with you. Verse 13 says in chapter 18, for whereas they would not believe anything by reason of the enchantments. So the people, when the Most High was putting His plagues down, the people was going to their temples, to their religious leaders, and they lost faith in their so-called gods because their gods could do nothing against the God of Israel. Upon destruction of the firstborn, they acknowledged that this people to be the sons of God. They acknowledged that this people were the children of God. Understand that. They acknowledged that this people, the Hebrews, were getting defended from on high, from heaven. And the children of Israel, God was the God of all gods, and there was nothing they can do about it or to Him. The same thing in the end will occur. The whole earth, that's when Christ says, and they will know that I had loved thee, you. The whole earth will know that all we have gone through, the hard bondage where we have been made to serve, the oppression, the mistreatment, everything, the whole earth would understand that who they was harming and mocking and destroying were actually the children of the living God. So Babylon must fall. Satan's kingdom must fall. To glorify, in this our God will be glorified and His people. Now, who is His people? First, we know that they're the bloodline of the man named Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. Israelites, Hebrew Israelites. But many Hebrew Israelites will be destroyed. Almost 90% of Hebrew Israelites will be destroyed because they have drunk and become drunk and have become lovers of the wine of Satan. They have become lovers of the wine of Satan, the deceptions, the false religions. They have been deceived and love it so, and refuse to come back and serve the God of their fathers. He will recompense them. It says destruction to the Jew first and then the Gentile, as well as the reward is to the Jew first and then the Gentile. So let's get it. Isaiah chapter 13, starting at verse 9 through 18. Yeah, we had to put it in there. Yeah, I have all that. I just didn't. That's cool. The water Leviathan, but we're going to get that at a later date. Now we know that when we're dealing with the prophets, the first part of prophecy has already occurred. The original Babylon was destroyed. Their king was destroyed. They lost their world power. They lost the war to the Medes and Persians. But as we notice in the prophecy, it's also talking about the daughter of Babylon. There's another nation that gave birth who are under the same sorceries and religious beliefs and practices as ancient Babylon. And right now, Iraq, which is ancient Babylon, is still inhabited. But when the Most High does this thing, ultimately in the end, it won't be. Okay? Let's get it.
Isaiah chapter 13, verses 9 through 18. Verse 9 reads, Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
So you see what the art is from the beginning. So when we get to Revelations, when it says, "Come out of her, my people," we see what Most High's art is all about. The goal is what?
To lay the sinners out of it.
To do what?
He shall destroy the sinners.
He should destroy the sinners out of it. He should destroy the sinners out of it. So that's why it's very crucial that we fall not into intoxication off of the wine of Lucifer. Because with that wine comes deception. Priests, pastors, elders, ministers are being led by Lucifer to teach his doctrines. We've been saying for a long time, how do you determine what's the truth? What's the true religion of God, or the true faith of God, the true doctrine of God? There will be pastors, ministers, elders who will not teach an excuse to sin. They will inform and warn the people of what's really at hand: the destruction of all sinners. So if you are attending a church where they are promoting that God loves all sinners, you have been thoroughly deceived. If you are attending a church where they say the law is done, or God's laws are done away with, you have been thoroughly deceived. If you're going to a religious institution where they're not even teaching God's laws, you have been thoroughly deceived. Could you see what the ultimate goal is of the Most High? He should destroy the sinners thereof out of it. There will be not one sinner left unpunished on earth. For those who don't know what sin is, I'm going to read the definition out of the Bible. 1 John 3:4. Whoso committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. And that's in the New Testament, proving that whoever told you that God's law is done away with have thoroughly deceived you, or have been deceived themselves to believe the lie. That's in 1 John chapter 3, verse 4, still talking about sin and showing us what sin is. Transgression of the laws of God that endures forever. So we have to get out of our feelings and take reproof, take correction. We have to come out of here, my people. Everything, like the Bible talks about those lovers of pleasures being destroyed. Everything in this world, which is led by the devil, will be destroyed. Everything that you so-called love so much will be destroyed. First John chapter 2, verse 15. This is why I say what I just said. Love not the world, neither things that are in the world. If any man loveth the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. In the world and its God, I'm adding that part, Satan passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God, to keep the laws and commandments of God, abideth forever. When it says the world, you have to understand that Satan is the God of this world. Okay? So everything that you see is of him, not of the Most High. Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So all those who are ruling the earth are under the guidance of Satan, their king, their God. Everybody on earth that's in a position of influence or power serve Satan. This is his kingdom. As the Messiah said, Satan will not cast out Satan. He will not exalt a servant of God. He's always destroyed the servants of God because they're contrary to his nature. They're contrary to his will. They're teaching against his doctrines of destruction. That's what the Messiah says. Whoever man is highly esteems is abomination to God. Everyone Satan has put before you as an honorable person is an abomination to the Most High. The sorcerers, the so-called great leaders, are sorcerers. Servants of Satan, tools of Lucifer. Let's keep going.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil.
He will punish America?
The world.
The world. So this time it's the whole earth. So he says, come out of her, my people. You can't come out of the world unless the Most High, stop your clock from ticking. But we cannot operate as the sinners. See? The whole earth lieth in sin. So how do we come out of her? How do we cleanse ourselves from the filthiness of Satan's world? Psalms 119 verse 9 says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his ways? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. By keeping his laws, taking heed to his laws, is the only way we can come out of Babylon. Come out of the spell of Babylon. Come out of the spell of Babylon. Okay? Read.
Verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
See, he will lay what? To the proud?
Will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease.
The arrogancy of the proud to cease. All those who reject the Most High. All those who deny the Most High. All those who refuse to keep his commandments. Who think that they have the right to decide how they want to live on his earth. You may not think that's a proud thing, but to him it is. It's arrogancy for you to think that you was created to make your own path, walk in the way that you want to walk. It's prideful. Read.
And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
See that? He will make, not man will make. And the man to the Most High is one who fears him. He will do what?
Make a man more precious than fine gold.
Make a man more precious than fine gold. Read.
Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Showing you how precious the righteous are and how rare the righteous are to the Most High. Something of small quantity has greater value than something there's an abundance of. But he will make these men and women precious as fine gold, something that's hard to find. Because the whole earth is as dross to him. It'd be hard. Women are talking about it's hard to find a good man. It's even more harder to find a righteous one. Right?
Verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger.
Hold on. Junior, pay attention. Read.
Verse 14. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children.
So hold on now, be easy. It's only one people that don't know who they are or where they from. So at this time when every man would go to his own land, where would the Negroes go? Where would the Mexicans go? They think they're from Mexico. Where would the Jamaicans go? They think they're Jamaicans. The Benjamites. So-called Mexicans. Issacharites. See? Negroes. Judah. We're Judites. We've been kicked off our land and scattered to the four corners of the earth. The land of our captivity is not our homelands. So, come out of Babylon and go where? Because according to Messiah, we won't come home until he leads us home.
Come.
Read.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
You see the violence. It's a lot going to go on, people. We have watched selective videos given to us by our government and their medias showing us foreign countries getting invaded. All our lives. We've seen many dead bodies piled up on our televisions. On people that did not want to go by what they call democracy. Not understand this, how the Most High has turned the nations against so-called America. Now America is a mockery to these other nations, which they always have been. Like even Hitler. He told Hitler told them when they released the Hebrews, then he'd listen to him. How you gonna tell me what to do with my people when you enslave God's people? Right now, America's economy is crumbling because they're doing it on purpose. God's people are still here suffering oppression. Getting killed every day. Before the world is falling. So imagine that's like how it looks for a so-called president to go to another country and try to tell them how to live when their house is destroyed. When you're doing the same thing to your people, you're trying to tell me not to do. But how do we know that that's what they're over there for? Because all we have is their side of the story. I said to my wife just a couple of days ago, I said, isn't the news funny that it's so contrary to the law? All we ever hear is one side of the story. The person they're talking about never can defend themselves. China said this, or the such claim that they did. So somebody bombed this place and said, yeah, we did it. We own that. Who does that? We never have ever gotten the other side of the story, and then when we did, they demonized the people. Because America want to continue to preach the same lie, that it's the greatest country and the greatest people on earth. When they are, in the name, I ain't gonna say that, but they are the greatest murderers on earth. But it's just funny. That's like, like if somebody's house is totally out of order, but trying to tell somebody how to put their house up in order. It has now become a mockery for America to go to other nations and try to talk to them about democracy. It's not really democracy, and that's one thing I hope that one day that these people that's in their armies realize. You have never fought for your freedom. That's a great lie. When you join a service, they tell you that you are fighting for your freedom. Let me tell you something. According to the Bible, when the Most High, as he has prophesied, the Most High prophesied nations ruling or giving them world power. Okay? It starts in the spiritual realm first. The Most High angels have to fight with Satan's angels to transfer the world power. He did it in Babylon, he did it in Medes and Persians, he did the Grecian Empire, and he has done it with this Roman Empire. Okay? No one will take down America but the Most High. So we've been at peace forever since we've been here without no threat, because that would pervert prophecy. When the time of the Gentiles come to an end, the Most High will send his servant and put his spirit in the nations to destroy her. Then he will send his servant, the Messiah, to finish the job to the whole world. So you had never fought for your freedom. You have fought for the most powerful families on earth, for their agenda. And their agenda is headed by Lucifer. You have never kept our country safe. It's not safe right now in the streets. Never been. Make that make sense. We've been concerned about a foreign threat, but they can't protect us in our own communities. Make that make sense. What's the greatest threat? Your own community or a foreign country? Read.
Verse 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished.
See that? They will have no might to fight back and win. All this technology, all these robots, soldiers, won't get the victory for America. Read.
Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young man to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb.
See, the thing that America had, the dollar, they don't desire it anymore. It's not a stronghold to them anymore. Understand? They know what they're doing. They know when they say no, we gonna trade on our own currency, or the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, who was it? Ireland, right? India, China, and Spain, and other nations are joining. South Africa, they down there, like I said, all these other countries are removing their hand.
Japan.
Yeah, Japan, they come on with it. The Most High has put a spirit in them to stand against the habitation of the whore. Read.
Verse 18. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children.
Now understand, this seemed like a dreadful situation, right? Horrible. But all this has been done for the righteous sake. All this has been done for the righteous sake. We're going to show that in the scriptures. Let's get it.
Isaiah chapter 24, starting at verse 1.
No, let's get 19.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19.
Read it all the way through.
Yeah. I thought I had it on there. I didn't.
18.
Yep, let's get it.
Back in Isaiah chapter 13, picking up at 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, an excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
See that? Read.
And it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
This is how we know that it's talking further than the ancient Babylon, who was led by King Nebuchadnezzar.
Come.
Because when the Messiah destroys it, it'll never be a place called Babylon again, or America, or North America, or South America, or China, or Russia. No, none of that. Read.
It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged.
Her days will not be prolonged. Not a day will be added to the Most High's time. Next precept.
Isaiah chapter 24, starting at verse 1. Isaiah chapter 24, Isaiah chapter 24, verses 1 through 23.
So this is what I say, like, understand, where can you run to? Let's get it.
Behold, the Most High maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it,
Maketh it who?
And maketh it waste.
The earth. Where can you flee to escape this? Only one way to escape this, my people. That's to learn his laws and keep them. Those be those who be passed over from this destruction. Read.
Behold, the Most High maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be, as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him.
It sounds like so as Pharaoh, so as his servants. Same fate. From the greatest to the least.
Come on.
Read.
The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled. For the Most High hath spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws.
Again, the whole world is defiled. Why?
Because they have transgressed the laws.
So now you understand when he says, come out of her, my people. Cleanse yourselves is what he's commanding. Cleanse yourselves from the filth of the world, from the pollution of this world. And the pollution of this world is paganism, the worship of devils, not the Most High. If you're in these religions, you are defiled. You are abominable to the Most High, because they have you believing it's okay to sin. But listen to what the Most High is saying, my people, and ask yourselves, is it? Why is this destruction coming? How could it be so? What pastors say? Where's the grace in this? Grace plus faith equals salvation. Where's that now? That's a lie. It's a false doctrine. He says the world is defiled because they transgress his laws. Therefore, the world is about to get destroyed. The same way in Noah's day, The earth was defiled because they transgressed his laws, and he destroyed them. He gave us a sign, my people. When it rains, look in the sky. When the sun comes out, his sign will show. The rainbow. It's not just a beautiful sight to see. It got nothing to do with the alphabet people. It's a sign for us to understand that a whole world was destroyed for their ungodliness, for transgressing God's laws. And he promised that he would not destroy the earth again by water, but this time with fire for the same thing. Let me see something, my people. I'm going to read Jude chapter 1, verse 7. You see how the world is promoting this gay agenda. These transgenders and queers and homosexuality, all these abominations. If you don't know what abomination means, it means something that is disgusting to the Most High. Verse 7 reads, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication, spiritual fornication, witchcraft, false religions, another way outside what the Most High commanded, and going after strange flesh. See, going after strange flesh is going after committing acts that's against the Most High. Man was not made to lay with man as he does womankind. A woman was not made to lay with a woman as she's supposed to with mankind. The whole premise of that is to reproduce. But check it out. Are set forth for an example. So he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about as an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Right? As an example, all those who live ungodly should suffer eternal fire. Let me see. Verse 15, verse 14. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, Messiah coming with 10,000 of his saints to execute judgment upon all and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, their proud speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Won't this be 7 cities or one locale? The earth. Messiah said we're not to be troubled in these times. For all those who say they're in Christ, this is a reminder of what's at hand. And for us to choose what side of this do we want to be on. Read.
Isaiah chapter 24, verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate.
The who? The curse. Those who break his laws have what? Devoured the earth. With their lies, their craftiness, their deceptions, their snares. Read.
Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
See? The inhabitants of the earth are burned, but what? A few men are left.
Come. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth. All the merry-hearted do sigh. Their mirth of tabret ceaseth.
All those who happy-go-lucky, living their best life, they sighing now. Read.
The mirth of tabret ceaseth. The noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down.
See what Babylon is called? The city of confusion. See? The earth, the whole earth is the city of confusion. Who is the god of confusion? Lucifer. Read.
The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be as the shaking of an olive tree.
Now see that? See, wine was created to make the heart rejoice. But they ain't trying to, this is what they ain't drinking for the heart to rejoice. They're trying to escape reality. But they can't. Getting drunk won't make the reality pass. The wrath of God go away. Read.
There shall be as the shaking of an olive tree, and as the gleaning grapes when the vintage is done. They shall lift up their voice. They shall sing for the majesty of the Most High. They shall cry aloud from the sea. Wherefore, glorify ye the Most High in the fires, even the name of Ahayah, God of Israel, in the isles of the sea. From the uttermost part of the earth have we heard songs, even glory to the righteous. But I said, my leanness, woe unto me. The treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. Yea, the treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherously. Fear in the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit.
Read that again.
And it shall come to pass.
Wait. For all those who believe in the flea doctrine. For all those who think they can flee to Africa. What did it say?
And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear.
See? From the noise of the fear. Many people know what's at hand. Think they can escape it. You can't. Read it again, brother.
Come. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 18. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit. And he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open.
Can you hide? Read.
And the foundations of the earth do shake.
And the foundations of the earth do shake. Read.
The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Most High shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high.
He should do what?
Punish the host of the high ones that are on high.
See that? Who is the host? You see? Your God is about to get destroyed. The God of your churches is about to get destroyed. Read.
And the kings of the earth upon the earth. And
your gods and the kings, the rulers. So you don't hear this in churches though. It's all dancing and you know, I say all the time, whooping and hollering and lying. Everybody think the earth is going to continue to go on. They die, and then they go into a better place. That's the foundation of their doctrines. They're not in church understanding that time is ticking for the sinners. Time is ticking for all those who break God's laws. Read.
22. And they shall be gathered together, as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed.
Understand? And they should be gathered together, as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and should be shut up in the prison. And after many days they should be visited. What happens when you die as a sinner? You go to hell and get tormented. But then he would say there'll be a visitation. Because all those that's in hell, with hell, will be cast into the lake of fire. Read.
Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously.
Is Messiah ruling in Zion yet? Did Messiah rule in Zion when ancient Babylon was destroyed? Nah, it was it King, Cyrus? When it was King Cyrus. No, he was like the third or fourth when they ruled after the destruction of Babylon. But it was, the Medes and Persians. Yeah. But Cyrus was used to help free us because the former king of Medes wrote a decree to help them, and they went back and found the records. Cyrus found the records and used the records to help us build Jerusalem back. But Messiah was now on earth ruling in Babylon, so it's showing that this is for the end days. Read.
Next precept.
Tremble, doom, exactly.
Isaiah chapter 47, verses 1 through 15.
I don't know about y'all, but we have y'all hot. Can somebody turn the air on? Women, you got to be around more dudes, for real. Women have a low iron count, and they always cold. Now it's about 90 degrees in here, y'all. I'm not smoking.
Yeah, you can get it.
Please do.
It's another one back there too.
You know, that one. Is it big?
I don't know.
I better do. Yes, we do. Let's get it.
Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1.
Wow. Don't put it on your mama-in-law because she over there crying. Thank you. You might think about you over there. For real, over there.
Verse 1 reads.
I tell you right there, man. You feel that?
Yeah, I can feel it.
It changed the continents. Let's get it. Yeah.
Verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
See, they're not calling America tender or some that's precious. Come sit in the dust. Read.
Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh.
See? Her nakedness has been exposed. No longer is she saw as the glory of all kingdoms. All these nations, through the Spirit of the Most High, despise her. Read.
Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen.
Thy shame should be seen. They're mocking America now. They no longer fear America. They got nuclear bombs too. For those who understand, World War III will be a nuclear war, according to Most High. They're not shooting bow and arrows this time. We're gonna read it in a minute though, but let's get it.
I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
He will take vengeance. He ain't coming to negotiate. Read.
As for our Redeemer, Ahayah is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy.
They did what?
Thou didst show them no mercy.
They showed us no mercy. That's why we're the only people who don't have no laws of protection. Homosexuals got more protections than God's people. A dog got more protection than God's people. Whenever something supposedly happened to another nation, like for example, you see they try to ramp up, they change the gun laws, they're trying to take our guns people before they come to embrace us. You hear more about some mass shootings. I'm putting it to you this way. Nah, she gonna get it. Put it like that. Let's go.
Verse 6. Thou didst show them no mercy.
Show no mercy. So the Most High put us in this position for our disobedience to His laws. But they showed us no mercy. Therefore, He would punish them. Read. Yeah, look, it says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand. He gave us into their hand. Remember, he said that if we break his laws, that we will, what? Go into captivity. Okay?
Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither did remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear this now.
Here's the thing. They always had our records. They know what happened to every other nation who has done what they have done. But they didn't consider, they was prideful, thought too much of themselves, lift themselves on high, and didn't consider their latter end. That's why it says they have lifted up the head. They are confederate against thee. Right? They become extremely prideful. Right?
Therefore, hear now this. Thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
So let's understand this. It's not this, the nation. The nation is a landmass. It's the people.
People, God.
Therefore, know this. Therefore, hear now this. Thou that art given to pleasures, unseemly pleasures, pleasures that are against the Most High's commandments. These are the snares that will lead to your destruction. The lusts of the flesh, remember, are not of the Father, but of Satan. So again, all my Christian brothers and sisters, take heed, please. If you continue living how you are living, in delusion, thinking that it's okay to break God's laws, it's concerning you. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwelleth carelessly, that live carelessly. Like there's no accountability for how you operate on this earth. See, all those who are lovers of pleasures live carelessly, not considering the end. You're not going to a better place. That's a lie as well. This lesson is going to go against everything, is going against and will continue to go against everything you have been taught. What you are hearing today is the truth. The Most High is informing you and warning you. Messiah says you can't serve two masters. Read.
Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries.
See, America think that they won't be destroyed. Understand what America consists of. People. It's not just the government, people. It's all those who are following their wicked ways. Read.
They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries.
See, for the what? The multitude of thy sorceries. The practice of witchcraft, magic, read.
And for the great abundance of thine enchantments.
For the great abundance of thy enchantments, you're calling on false gods who are actually the fallen gods. Who you're crying to, who you're praying to, who you're worshiping on your holidays are fallen gods.
Con.
Read.
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me.
See that? You have trusted these. You have trusted in your wickedness. You have believed the liars. My people, we cannot willfully sin. Point blank. But you have been deceived to trust in your wickedness. You have been deceived to believe God loves you as you are. You have been lied to, people. Read.
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries.
Destruction shall come suddenly when you least expect it. Boom. For those who, know anything about the military, or what happened when the bomb drops?
You ain't got no time to run.
Ain't no time to run. You know what's going on. You just out of there, torn in pieces, or incinerated. Am I lying, brother?
You're playing rattle, you still don't know what you're doing. It's
My people, destruction is at hand. And all the people that are, the Bible talking about getting destroyed ain't going to heaven. Okay? They ain't going to heaven, people. They ain't going to a better place. They're going to the most worst place. They're going to the pit after their death. The souls will be drugged down to the fiery jail, Sheol or Hades, where the angels will torment them until they cast them into the fiery lake. That's what the Bible teaches from the beginning to the end, people. All the other stuff is of the devil. For the Most High said that you have trusted in your wickedness. You believe you can eat pork. You speak prideful, saying, well, I don't care what the Bible says, I'm going to eat some pork. Understand how stupid that sounds. The Bible is talking about destroying the whole world for doing these things against what he commands. But you said that you don't care, you still going to do it. The world promotes being a whoremonger. But you say you don't care, you still want to do it. You want to multiple women, you want to be a man or woman of pleasures. You want to do how you want to do. And the Most High said, that's cool. Go ahead. Be at it full speed. Because your destruction is coming full speed. Too. Let's get it.
Verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries.
Stand on it. See if it saved you. You read about the Egyptians.
Come on.
Got to the point where they didn't believe anything the sorcerers, the enchanters, the magic practicing priests were saying because they could do nothing against the God of all gods. Read.
Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
From thy youth, since the inception of America. This is what you've been on. Paganism. The worship of many gods. Enchant to them. Pray to them. Believe in them. Read.
If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail.
Try it out. Read.
Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
See? Just like in Egypt, he put them to open shame. Read.
Behold,
Oh, really?
they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
They should be what?
They shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them.
See that? All your pastors, your white Jesus and all that won't save you. Now, for those who heard what I just said, we believe on the Messiah that's in the book. You know the dark-skinned brother with the afro? Yasha, we call him. We believe in the Messiah, the expected king and deliverer of the Hebrews. So don't interpret what I just said the wrong way. We don't believe in the white Jesus who suffer sin, who allow and make excuses for sin in your churches. The one that's nailed the posted on your walls in your homes. They ain't the one of the Bible. The one of the Bible is coming to destroy you and your pastors and your gods. Our Redeemer, our King, our brother, the head Hebrew Israelite.
Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall save thee.
None shall save you. Everything America stands on should be brought down to destruction. And its inhabitants who follow their pernicious ways. Where we at?
Jeremiah chapter 6, verses 22 through 30. That's Jeremiah chapter 6, verses 22 through 30. Con, when everyone's there. Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 22. Thus says Ahayah, behold, a people cometh from the north country, and a great nation shall be raised from the sides of the earth. They shall lay hold on bow and spear. They are cruel and have no mercy. Their voice roareth like the sea, and they ride upon horses, set in array as men for war against thee, O daughter of Zion. We have heard the fame thereof. Our hands wax feeble. Anguish have taken hold of us, and pain as of a woman in travail. Go not forth into the field, nor walk by the way, for the sword of the enemy and fear is on every side. O daughter of my people, gird thee with sackcloth, and wallow thyself in ashes. Make thee mourning as for an only son. Most bitter lamentation, for the spoiler shall suddenly come upon us.
Destruction is to the Jew, my people. First, the Most High is not excusing his people from sinning. Read.
27. I have set thee for a tower and a fortress among my people, that thou mayest know and try their way. They are all grievous revolters, walking with slanders.
What are God's people?
Grievous revolters.
See, this as in ancient times when he didn't destroy all the nations around about us because we began to what? Break commandments, and they became, as he prophesied, they would become a snare to us. He set us in the midst of them to do what? Try our ways. My people, that's why it's time to come out of her, my people. Learn not the way of the heathen. That's what it's talking about. He set us in the midst. Now he's reviving his people, and we see what's evil, and we can learn what's good. We see what the evil is, what they have coming to them. We're about to read what's going to come to the righteous who keep his laws. The time is suffice, my people. We live our whole lives in wickedness. And what profit has it got us? We have to come out of these religions, people. It is the death of us. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 28.
But listen to what the Most High said that we are. To him. All those who believe that, you can stay in your religions. That teach against God's laws. This is how the Most High sees you. Regardless of how you feel in your hearts. Or what you think of yourselves. Or what you think about your pastors. They're going to be destroyed too with double damnation. Listen, how does the Most High see his people?
28. They are all grievous revolters.
Grievous, something hard to bear. Grievous revolters.
Walking with slanders.
Walking with liars. Found the ways of liars. Talking about your pastors, your mamas, your days, your granddays, all of them, your brothers and sisters who have all been deceived and continue to deceive others. You're walking in their course of life, which is against the Most High. Read.
They are brass and iron.
Brass and iron. Understand what that means. Their hearts are hardened. They will not listen to the words of the Most High God. Read.
They are all corrupters.
They are all corruptors. They are corrupt and they are corrupting their children. Look at our people. Is our nation not corruptors? Look at what's going on with the youth. You've corrupted them. The life you live in have corrupted them. It's time to shake from the drunkenness. It's time to awake people. As the Bible says, it is high time to awake out of sleep. Look at what your churches have produced. A bunch of evildoers. Read.
The bellows are burned. The lead is consumed of the fire. The founder melteth in vain. For the wicked are not plucked away. Reprobate silver shall men call them, because the Most High have rejected them.
See? You are useless to the Most High unless you repent and learn to keep his laws.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verses 40 through 42. Jeremiah chapter 50, verses 40 through 42. When everyone's there. And it reads, As Ahayah overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, says the Most High, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. They shall hold the bow in the lands.
They're rising up, people. They're preparing for war against her. The Most High is raising them up, people. Read.
They shall hold the bow in the lands. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses. Every one put in array, like a man to the battle, against thee, O daughter of Babylon.
Like a man to battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. I'm telling you, they're not shooting bows and arrows anymore, people. They're preparing for the great war. Read.
Jeremiah 51, verses 35 through 58. Verse 35 reads, The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon, shall the inhabitant of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea, shall Jerusalem say. Therefore, thus says the Most High, Behold, I will plead thy cause, and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry up her sea, and make her springs dry. And Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment, and a hissing, without an inhabitant.
See, this is the righteous cause. This is what the righteous plea. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon. Remember, they show no mercy. My blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea shall Jerusalem say. The righteous is pleading for help. Oh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What it says in verse 36.
Therefore, thus says the Most High, behold, I will plead thy cause.
I will judge your cause.
And take vengeance for thee.
And take vengeance on these people. Read.
And I will dry up her sea, and make her springs dry. And Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment, and an hissing, without an inhabitant. They shall roar together like lions. They shall yell as lions' whelps. In their heat I will make their feast, and I will make them drunken, that they may rejoice and sleep a perpetual sleep, and not wake, says Ahayah. I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with he-goats. How is Shishak taken, and how is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How has Babylon become an astonishment among the nations? The sea is come up upon Babylon. She is covered with the multitude of the waves thereof. Her cities are a desolation, a dry land, and a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwelleth, neither do any son of man pass thereby. And I will punish Baal in Babylon, and I will bring forth.
He'll punish who?
Baal.
Satan. Read.
And I will punish Baal in Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. My people, go ye out of the midst of her.
My people, go out of the midst of her. Listen to what he said about Satan. Verse 44, I will punish Baal in Babylon, where he sitteth on his throne. And I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together any more into him. See? The nations should not follow him anymore. My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of Ahayah. See? We have to come out of paganism, people. These churches are pagan establishments, whorehouses, as the Bible calls them, idols or temples for sin, or temples of sin. We got to come out of my people and deliver your soul from the wrath of the Most High. Read.
Verse 46. And lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. Therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon.
On the churches of Babylon. They all are marked with graven images. The gods of Babylon. And their establishments. Let's get it.
And her whole land shall be confounded, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. Then the heaven and the earth, and all that is therein, shall sing for Babylon, for the spoiler shall come unto her from the north, says the Most High. As Babylon have caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth.
Babylon has caused what?
The slain of Israel to fall.
You see? They've been hanging on trees, my people, for a long time. Shooting us with no mercy. Poisoning our people, experimenting on our people, killing our people. We've been the target of their poisons for a long time. Most I said he would take vengeance on them. They gave us Christianity and Islam and as a snare, my people. They gave us Christianity and Islam. I'm going to say it again. They gave us Christianity and Islam. I'll read you something. Deuteronomy 28, verse 36. And I shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there, that's the key, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. The wood is the Christ, it's the so-called cross that Christ died on. The stone represents the modern day Kaaba stone of Islam. These are the two largest religions of the earth, people. But the key is, the Most High said that we will go into captivity. In the land of our captivity, we will serve other gods, not him. Let's not look past that, people. So when we came over here, wherever land we were scattered to, he said that his people will serve other gods. So what are these churches, people, that we attend? Let's go to Psalms 83. Verse 12 says, talk about God's enemies, these nations who are against God, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession. Who saith, let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession. I started verse 1, in case you lost. Keep not thy silence, O God. So the psalmist is begging the Most High to act on behalf of his people because of the oppression that they're suffering.
Come.
Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Ahayah. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. Remember the land of confusion? And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have become, what it says, exceedingly prideful. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So because they have taken over the house of God, they do not teach the children of God who they are. They have cast his laws away and replaced them with their own traditions in their temples of sin. That's why you don't know that you are Hebrew Israelite, because the enemies of God control and create and control your religions, who said they will cut off our history, our origin, our nationality, our culture. And they will teach you doctrines of devils, because that's who's over your churches. Don't get mad at me or get offended, because the Bible said in these lands his people will serve other gods, not him. Make that make sense. How can your religion be of the truth? I had a conversation the other day. Somebody said they need to go to Bible college, Bible school. How can you learn of God from these nations when Christ said the nations don't know God? The Messiah said the nations don't know God. The Gentiles don't know the Most High. So how can they teach you about a God the Messiah said they don't know? It's time to come out of her, my people. Babylon is falling. Read.
Back to Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 49. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 49. As Babylon has caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. Ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still. Remember the Most High afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind.
Do what? Read that again.
Con.
Where were you at?
51, verse 50.
Okay.
51, 50. Ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still. Remember Ahayah afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind.
And let Jerusalem come to mind. King Solomon prayed for this when they finished building the temple.
Con.
He says, when God's people are scattered, let them remember Jerusalem. Let them face the east
Con.
and pray to their God. But see, you can't remember Jerusalem because your church has never told you who you are.
Con.
Remembering Jerusalem means remember the God of Israel and what he prophesied, what he promised us. He promised to redeem us from our captivity and bring us into our own land. And use his son, the prophesied Messiah, to destroy all the kingdoms on the earth and establish his kingdom and root out all sinners from the earth. Remember Jerusalem. Now it's time to learn what Jerusalem means. It's not just talking about the land, people. Our culture, our heritage, but more importantly, the God who put his name there. The God that dwells in Jerusalem and promised to dwell there again.
Con.
Next precept.
Verse 51. We are confounded because we have heard reproach. Shame have covered our faces. For strangers are coming to the sanctuaries of the Most High's house.
So who?
Strangers.
Gentiles had come into the Most High's house.
Wherefore, behold, the days come, says the Most High, that I will do judgment upon her graven images, and through all her land the wounded shall groan.
See that? He's talking about, like he was talking about Egypt, destroying the gods of the land. Strangers have come over into the sanctuaries of God and taken over, as we just read in Psalms, and put their idols and their doctrines in his houses. So they're no longer his houses. Yes.
And that's just also, the scripture just backed up what you said from the conversation you had with someone of going to a theologian college to learn from them, and they're strangers and taking over the Most High's book, and they can't teach it.
God.
Verse 52. Wherefore, behold, the days come, says the Most High, that I will do judgment upon her graven images, and through all her land the wounded shall groan. Though Babylon should mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come into her, says Ahayah. A sound of a cry cometh from Babylon, and great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans, because the Most High have spoiled Babylon, and destroyed out of her the great voice. When her waves do roar like great waters, a noise of their voice is uttered, because the spoiler is come upon her, even upon Babylon, and her mighty men are taken, every one of their bows is broken. For Ahayah, God of recompenses, shall surely requite.
See, none of their technology, all they super robots and super soldiers would not prevail. Read.
And I will make her drunk, and I will make drunk her princes, and her wise men her captains, and her rulers, and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a perpetual sleep, and not wake, says the King, whose name is Ahayah. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken, and her high gates shall be burned with fire.
Do y'all know what it means when it says the Lord of hosts?
God of spirit.
The Lord of hosts is the hosts are the heavenly angels, the heavenly armies. Okay? Well, the Lord of spirits, like he said, it's talking about the God of hosts, the heavenly angels. Read.
Con. The broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken, and her high gates shall be burned with fire. And the people shall labor in vain, and the folk in the fire, and they shall be weary. Next precept, Nahum chapter 1, verses 2 through 7. Nahum chapter 1, verses 2 through 7. Con, when everyone's there.
Got it.
It's at the end of the Old Testament. It's like, yeah, it's like the fourth book, something like that, before the end of the Old Testament.
He got it.
Let's get it.
Nahum chapter 1, verse 2. Ahayah is jealous, and Ahayah revengeth. The Most High revengeth, and is furious. Ahayah will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies.
His wrath is for who?
For his enemies.
Enemies are those who do not keep his laws. Not just Babylon or some nations, but all those who do not keep his laws are his enemies.
The Most High is slow to anger,
He's been patient with us. Read.
and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked.
He would not what?
Acquit the wicked.
Again, it is destroying the doctrine of Christianity. He will not acquit those who break his laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
The Most High hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet.
And the clouds are the dust of his feet. So you see who you dealing with. All the clouds of the earth are as the dust of his feet. Understand that. We've seen some large clouds go on for a long way.
Huh.
But it's showing you who the God of heaven is. Remember, he created the heavens. Read.
He rebuketh the sea, and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence.
So let's just understand who you speak so proudly against. Who you speak so proudly against. Read the last part again, brother. The mountains.
Verse 5. The mountains quake at him,
The mountains quake at him,
and the hills melt,
and the hills melt.
and the earth is burned at his presence. Yea, the world and all that dwell therein. Who can stand before his indignation?
Who can stand before his wrath? No one. This is who you so proudly speak against. When you reject him, you have not learned who this God really is.
Come.
He's not just a God of love. You see the other side of him now? Read.
Who can stand before his indignation? And who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. Ahayah is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him.
He knoweth them that trust in him. He is good to them. And a stronghold in the day of the righteous trouble. Yet the opposite for the wicked.
Malachi chapter 4, verses 1 through 4. Malachi chapter 4, verses 1 through 4. Calm when everyone's there. Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh.
Hold on, let me get this. Okay.
Verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven.
That should do what?
That shall burn as an oven.
The earth shall burn with fervent heat.
Con.
Read.
And all the proud.
All those, again, who rejected his laws and refused to keep them, who have created their own righteousness, believe that the idol or the God that they have created in their own mind, their own heart, is the God we're reading about. Who believe they can serve him as they please, how they desire, not how he desires. Read.
And all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly.
All those who do wickedly, let's get it. In the Hebrew, in Strong's Concordance 75:64, who do wrong, especially morally. Iniquity, who do sin. He's going to do what?
All the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up.
Shall burn them up. Now, I'm going to ask you one more time. How is God's law done away with? The Most High said you're gonna burn in flames. We're going to read the Messiah confirming this. All that do iniquity, all that break God's laws, he should burn them up. Your pastors are deceiving liars. If you are in Christianity, you are wrong, according to God. It is the religions and gods that the Most High prophesied we will be in and serve in our land of captivity for the millionth time. If you are in Islam, you are condemned already. Unless you repent and serve the God of all gods, the God of the Hebrews. Islam is an Arab religion. Somebody text some on our group chat talking about some Muslims in the book of Quran. My brother, whoever you are, burn that book in the fire. Muhammad is an Arab. There's no prophets of God that is of Ishmael. All the prophets come from Jacob. For I am a child of the prophets. Understand that. There was no need for an Arab prophet hundreds of years after the Messiah was crucified and resurrected. The book was already sealed, my brother. He was the prophet that Moses prophesied about, not Muhammad. Understand that. Cast that book in the fire and your faith and come to the God of your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And stay off my chat talking that nonsense.
Con.
Yeah. Last week, we wrote a big old book. You didn't see that mess?
Verse 1. Malachi chapter 4. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, says the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
Now send your pastors be preparing for this day. Shouldn't your pastors be preparing themselves and you for this day to come? Yes, sister. This is the finality, people. This is the conclusion of the whole matter. Why aren't your pastors preparing you for this day? They're not the pastors of ministers of God. Sister Sheba got a question, comment. With microphones.
Have any? I thought I seen one.
Speaking peace, like they said in the Bible they would be doing. 'Cause somebody in my family went to church and was saying how great the service was on Sunday, which was the holiday.
Hold on, can you get in the microphone? I don't know where they're at. Oh, you know where they're at? No. Oh. Okay. Say that again, sister.
They were saying how good of a time they had.
I see you, son. So Sister Sheba said that she was talking to one of her family members. They're saying how good a church service was on a Sunday. Nope. Is it the box thing on? There we go. Is that one on? This?
That one is.
Okay. That one.
And later,
Sorry.
I was just speaking with a family member. We were talking. They said they had a good time at their service on Sunday.
Now I know you talk loud in that. Now the whole world will talk loud in that.
Oh,
Come on. Now, I know you ain't. Oh, okay.
On Sunday, I preached a good word, you know what it was about. And then they needed to go to the store, but didn't want to go to the store to get beer. Because they said, I just left church after Pastor spoke that word. Nobody gonna catch me in there buying beer. I said, what? And wouldn't go. So I went and got the beer.
But it shows you they think, like I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was showing them that, drinking is in the law. So all sin is gone away with, but you can't drink liquor or alcohol. It's in the law. Wine is created to make the heart rejoice. Strong drink is in the law. We can drink strong drink. We can drink alcohol. But fornication and murder and lying, those things we cannot do. But being an alcoholic is a sin, my people. Okay? Yeah. Like I asked the brother I was talking to. I said, so Christ enticed people to sin? He made wine at a wedding. So he made everybody sin? He got, his little buzz on and got everybody in the wedding party to sin. That's what you're saying that the Messiah did? I think, my people. See, you have not learned the law. A drink offering was of the law. We gave up 10% of our wine to the priests and their families. For the priest and the heathen spirit to his families. For them to drink and have a good time. And then they blessed it and we drunk and had a good time. The holy day, the Sabbath, the holy days are for us to drink, eat good, and be merry. To rejoice. Psalms 104:15. Psalms 104:15 reads, "And wine that maketh glad the heart of men." And wine that maketh the heart of man glad. Wine maketh glad the heart of men. It's not a bad thing, people. Okay. Con. Sister Levaya. Sister Levaya said that her mom said that the churches now are teaching that the holidays are pagan. And she said, really? I'm like, and so is Sunday worship. See? So because what they call a movement, God's people are out here teaching about the law, 7 commandments. Pastors have no defense. So they're teaching what has always been in encyclopedias since forever. Holidays are pagan. They're not of God. They're worship of ancient gods, fallen angels, giving reverence to these fallen angels. But you can't clean half the plate and leave the other half of the plate dirty. You got to clean the whole plate, pastors. As Sister Bathsheba said, they're teaching peace in a time of trouble. Let's get it.
Malachi chapter 4, verse 2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall.
See that? But those who keep his commandments and fear the Most High shall his Son rescue.
And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be as ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, says the Lord of hosts. Verse 4. Remember ye the law of Moses my servant.
Do what?
Remember ye the law of Moses.
Don't forget it. Remember what?
The law of Moses.
Remember the law I gave to Moses, my servant,
which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments.
Con. Next precept.
Revelation chapter 17, starting at verse 1. Revelation 17, verse 1 through chapter 19, verse 21. Con, when everyone's there. Revelation 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters,
That controlleth the people,
with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
See that? The inhabitants of the earth have become drunk off of her deception. The fornications is the spiritual fornications, the heresies, the doctrine of devils, the ideologies that you can serve God how you please. It's about how you interpret his book and how you please to live. All this is part of the wine and many much more things. Let's get it.
Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy.
I should be a lady forever. I see a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. Right?
Full of names of blasphemy.
Full of names of blasphemy. Hold on.
Come on.
Read that again.
Revelation 17, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
The 7 heads represents what? The 7 mountains of Rome. And the 10 horns are what? The original EU. Read.
Verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
That's what said. All her religions are full of abomination. They promote abominations. That's why they all are pagan. They all is celebrating Easter. They still going, like this is Leviathan said, to Sunday worship. They're contrary to the Most High God. Their doctrines are abominations. They promote sin. Read.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great.
Mystery Babylon the Great. She's no longer a mystery. Okay? The papal is no longer a mystery. We know who this is. Read.
The mother of harlots.
The mother of harlots. What harlots he's talking about? Let's go to Jeremiah 5, verse 7. The mother of harlots. The Roman Catholic Church is the mother of harlots. Sunday worship came from the Roman Catholic Church. Pagan holidays came from the Roman Catholic Church. Not keeping God's laws came from the Roman Catholic Church, the papal, my people. Let's get it. How shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me, and have sworn by them that are no gods. When I had fed them to the full, they then committed adultery, and assembled themselves by troops in the harlot houses, the churches. We have assembled by troops every Sunday in the harlot houses, the houses who are controlled by the great whore, the harlot. Do you get it now? Let precepts stand for eternity, my people. Not the voice of men. She sits on many waters. Waters represents people. She controls. She's sitting on it. The papal is controlling these religions, people. Let us take into possession the houses of God. In her cup are full of abominations. They're doing everything that's abominable to the Most High. Yes. What's up, Big D? A beast? An animal. I know. Put your head up and talk, boy. You ain't shy. Put your head up. Much you talk, boy, you don't open your mouth up. Let's get it.
A beast is an animal?
The Most High is using like an example, okay, as a beast. But the beast, it represents like, it's hard for you to understand this, but like Satan's system. Like the world that we live in, everything that we see is controlled. It's hard for me to explain to you, but I'm explaining to the people, okay? But it's everything that is like a brute beast. Satan's system is as a brute beast, okay? I can't explain to, because you haven't lived long to understand society. I can't. Yeah.
This suffices as well. And with the beast, everything that's in the beast's way, it's going to trample down and destroy.
Yeah. Yes.
Say naturally when we hear that word beast, like in this context of what they do, it's like you think it more like it's more like the wild beast, like your lions. You know what I'm saying? They can be violent. They can be they can devour and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Come.
Wow.
When it comes to world powers, the Most High use illustrations as beasts, like you said, like a lion, a bear, those kind of things. But it's Satan's system, the things that everything, his whole construct. Okay, but let's go.
And upon her forehead, verse 5, was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great.
See, this is Babylon the Great. It's not talking about the ancient Babylon. Like, we can also call this Sodom and Gomorrah the Great. The whole earth is operating in the spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah. The whole earth is operating in the spirit of ancient Babylon, in their paganism. The holidays that you are celebrating come from ancient Babylon. They just named them differently. Okay? Let's get it.
The mother of harlots.
She's the mother of the churches, people, the harlot houses. Right?
And abominations of the earth.
And the abomination of earth. Because of these religions that come from her, the earth is defiled. Not just America. The world is defiled. The world is operating in the spirit of Satan. The world is keeping the commandments of Satan, not the Most High. That's why the whole earth is defiled. And why the Most High was about to send Christ to wipe out all that's defiled. Read.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yasha.
Who killed the prophets in the Messiah? Who gave over the Messiah? The religious leaders of Israel. Who killed the prophets, the saints of the Most High? The so-called spiritual people who was involved in paganism. See? All the saints of the Most High spoke against what we're speaking against right now today. And warned them of the wrath of God and told them to keep God's laws, not to do as the heathen. They killed them. Same thing the Messiah said. They killed him. Because they was led by the God of this world. Read.
And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
When I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Like, when you look at how Satan has deceived the people, I mean, seriously, like, that's why I say Satan is a bad dude. For real. And I say all the time, he is to be respected but not feared. But look how he has deceived the people. It's sorcery. He said, by thy sorcery, Satan has deceived the whole world. It's psychological magic. He has convinced the people that actually going against God is pleasing to God. That's cold. That's a bad dude right there. But people believe in their heart that they can go against the laws of God and he's pleasing with it. Understand that. Read.
Verse 7. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which have the 7 heads and the 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition.
Destruction.
And they that dwell on the earth shall wander, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth.
So it's showing you that what? The location of Satan's seat. Rather in Italy. What's they call? Where the Pope gonna be at? The Vatican. Right there. Read.
And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords, and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
See, those that are with the Messiah should be changed in the twinkle of an eye and be joined to his army. Remember, the wicked will be ashes upon their feet, up under their feet. These are the ones that are with the Messiah, who he said will be with him, who keep his laws and fear his God. The called, the faithful, the righteous, right, will be used by the Most High to destroy with his son, the wicked. Read.
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples.
Are who?
Are peoples.
Are peoples. Many waters are peoples. Many nations. Read.
And multitudes, and nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore.
So now they're starting to hate the whore. Right? Read.
And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will.
For the Most High has put it in their hearts to fulfill his will. He will recompense their evil. Read.
And to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And after these things I saw another angel.
This is why you see all the kings of the earth bowing down to the Pope, kissing his hand. Read.
And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils.
So now you see why the earth is so wicked? Do you see why the earth is so wicked, so violent, so moralless? It has become the habitation of devils. All the earth is possessed. All the people on the land have become hosts of these devils. You see how these youths and their parents are possessed with demons. The music that they're listening to are demons. It's from demons. The demons need a vessel, and the people are the host. That's why they're senseless everything. That's why they are changing their kind. Women want to be with women, men want to be with men. You know, you got parents, like we said last week, taking their children to a strip show by grown men, transgenders, veslites, and it's just the habitation of devils. There's nothing good in the land, people. To understand what you are placing more value on than your soul. Like we say, everything that you see, everything you've been taught to love is of these devils. The pride of life, the things that you think you can buy that defines you, is the pride of life. You boast in these things. You define yourself in these things. Why you think For example, in rap music, you cannot be a rapper if you ain't got no chains on. Driving fancy cars and have a big house. It's the pride of life. It's the snares of the devil. They all promote the same thing, the pride of life. The things that Satan is offering you in his kingdom to take you and keep you away from the Most High. That look is something special. Understand that. Like, look at the women, the artists. They just like the men now. They got big chains on too. No clothes on. But they're flaunting material possessions. And they're promoting abominations. The earth what? Babylon's what? What we at?
Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Demon. The cage of every hateful demon. Read.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people.
Come out of her, my people. Read.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
That ye be not partakers of her sins. That's what it's talking about. Come out of her, my people. Cleanse yourself. Keep his laws so you be not partakers. You do not operate how they're operating. He's about to destroy them. Read.
Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
Understand this. I said this last week, I think, to the youth in here. I said, hey, real talk. All your so-called friends and the people that you admire who are not doing what you're hearing in this class, if they don't receive this message and cleanse themselves, everything that you look up to, everything, and it's not for the kids, it's for the adults too. But everything that you desire that's contrary to pleasing the Most High, every person, everything is about to burn with fire. Please do not place anything on this earth more precious than your souls. Read. That's a long distance relationship right there. Breathe.
Verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you.
See, what is the art the Most High have with this great whore? She's a worker of iniquity. Read.
Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself, and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Ahayah, God who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth, who have committed fornication, and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her, and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones, and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thyine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster, and all the company in ships, and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads, and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven.
Rejoice over her. This is something we should look forward to. Read.
And ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians, and of pipers and trumpeters, shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman, of whatsoever craft he be, shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood of prophets, and of saints, and of all that were slain upon the earth. Verse 1.
I got this one.
Come.
And after these things, I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Ahayah, salvation and glory and honor and power unto Ahayah, our God. That's why the title is Glorious is the fall / destruction of Babylon for the righteous. It's leading to our salvation, people. It's leading to our salvation. This place will be destroyed. He will gather his people off this land. He will do this, not man, before the destruction of her. Salvation and glory and honor and power unto Ahayah our God. For true and righteous are his judgments. For true and righteous are his judgments. He must punish those who deceived us and had no mercy on us. For he hath judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, see, with her religions, have avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. And again they said, Ahayah, and her smoke rose up forever and ever. And the 24 elders and the 4 beasts fell down and worshiped Ahayah that sat on the throne, saying, Amen, Ahayah. And a voice came out of the throne, saying, Praise our God, all ye his servants, and ye that fear him, both small and great. And I heard as it was the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, or many peoples, and as the voice of mighty thundering, saying, Ahayah, for Ahayah is omnipotent, that's omnipotent reigneth. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come. For the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. Those who fear the Most High, they made themselves ready. And to her was granted that should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen means what? Righteousness of saints.
Come.
And he said unto me, Write, blessed are they which are called into the marriage supper of the Lamb. Blessed are they who are called to the marriage of the Lamb. Blessed are they who did what? Prepared themselves for the marriage, and were not like the 5 virgins who was not ready. Even though they were called, they didn't make themselves properly ready. The other 5 did. And he saith unto me, Write, blessed are they which are called into the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, These things are true sayings of the Most High. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren. Told you, the angels are our brethren that have the testimony of Messiah. Worship Ahayah. For the testimony of Messiah is the spirit of prophecy. And I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he do judge and make war. His eyes was as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of God. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, or the Gentiles. And he should rule them with a rod of iron. And he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty God. And he have on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, Come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. All the sinners will be the feast of the birds of prey. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse, and against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that worked miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. And them that worship his image, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. And the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls was filled with their flesh.
Psalm 104, verse 35.
I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to be birds' food.
Psalm chapter 104, verse 35. Con, when everyone's there.
I want to be part of the congregation. Messiah said he'll eat and drink wine with us when he returns.
Con.
In the kingdom.
104.
Let's get it.
Psalms 104, verse 35. Let the sinners be consumed out of the earth.
Let the who?
Let the sinners be consumed out of the earth.
Let the sinners be consumed out of the earth. Let all those who reject the laws of God be consumed out of the earth. People, you got to read your Bible. If you read your Bible, you know it past this line. Like, seriously, what that mean? Like, how can you go against that? Read again, brother.
Come on. Psalms 104, verse 35. Let the sinners be consumed out of the earth.
Let the sinners be consumed out of the earth. Burned with fire. We're not subject to sin, people. He says laws are not grievous. They're not hard. Read.
And let the wicked be no more.
Let the who?
Let the wicked be no more.
But you don't believe you're wicked because you think you're a good person. You cannot be a good person except you keep God's laws. It's not being good to yourselves or to men. It's being good to the Most High. Being good to the Most High means being righteous, means a keeper of his laws.
Come on.
Read.
Let the sinners be consumed out of the earth, and let the wicked be no more. Bless thou the Most High, O my soul. Praise ye Ahayah.
Praise ye Ahayah. Bless my soul. Next precept.
Proverbs chapter 2, verse 22. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 22. Con, when everyone's there. Verse 22 reads, but the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it.
See, all these nations, starting with where we dwell right now, should receive the recompense. He's not just going to pay them back for what they did to the righteous, his people. Then, during this process, he would destroy all those who worked iniquity, who didn't keep his laws and taught men not to. In any way, shape, fashion, form, all sinners should be cut off the earth. And this is why he says, praise ye Ahayah. His judgments are true and righteous. He is alleviating all bad influences forever off this earth, making a perfect place for his children, those who fear him and keep his commandments. This is an act of genuine love, removing anything that can harm, influence, corrupt his people. as you would do as a loving parent. When you know somebody got a bad kid who up to no good, you don't want your kid going over there because they gonna corrupt your son. The Most High is destroying that one, wiping them off the face of the earth, and they will never exist again. He's not leaving the nations to be a snare to try us anymore. This is the finale, people. In God's kingdom, it will be the inhabitants all will be righteous, Hebrew and Gentile alike. Even the gods of this world will be destroyed. Read.
Last three precepts. Psalm chapter 37, verses 1 through 11. Psalms 37, verses 1 through 11. Khan, when everyone's there. Psalm 37, verse 1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut off. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Most High, and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed.
So we're saying, be not jealous or angry at these evildoers. Don't envy them. Don't be angry. Like those who know not our God, know it's hard, but we see the injustice of our people. It angers us. But don't worry. He said, no, I got them. Don't you recompense? I got them. Really? So that's why I'm trying to tell y'all who y'all admiring, these entertainers and all this stuff, they're evildoers. The Most High is going to destroy them, and you, if you follow them. Read.
For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Most High.
Trust in the words that we are reading of the Most High. Read.
And do good.
And keep his commandments.
So shalt thou dwell in the land.
So shall you dwell in the land.
And verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in Ahayah, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Most High. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
See, do not thy own will, but do his will. And delight in it. Read.
And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday.
He will grow you into perfection, a pleasing vessel. Read.
Rest in the Most High, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger, and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, for evildoers shall be cut off. But those that wait upon the Most High, they shall inherit the earth.
They shall inherit the earth, not heaven. Read.
For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be.
See, yet in a little while, the wicked shall not be. You will never see one again, if you're not wicked. Read.
Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth.
The humble, the righteous, the meek shall inherit the earth.
And shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
In the abundance of peace. See that? No more anxiety. No more reason to be afraid. Read.
Next precept. Matthew chapter 13, verses 37 through 43. Matthew chapter 13, verses 37 through 43. Con, when everyone's there. 37 reads, He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend.
All things that sin, do iniquity, or entice someone to sin. And again, to my Christians, brothers and sisters, do you see the finale? If the law is done away with, who is Christ? Who are the terrorists? The terrorists are those who, let me get it for you. Matthew 13.
Yep.
What scripture is that?
38.
41, 48, 38?
It was at 38 when we first talked about terror.
Okay. Nuh-uh, offend.
Offend? Oh, that's 41.
In the Going Strong's Concordance in the Greek, 46:25. Scandalon, right? That is snare. Figuratively cause of displeasure or sin. Occasion to fall or of stumbling, offense. Things that offend, stumbling blocks, right? Those who were stumbling blocks, hypocrites, anyone that enticed to sin. The Messiah sent his angels for you. Anyone that taught against the laws of God. For the record, my people, the Sabbath is Saturday. Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. That's why we're here worshiping on the Lord's Day. It's not the first day, it's the seventh day. As someone brought out earlier, it's the science, people, of the devil. The first day is the God of this world's day. It's the day that the whole earth is worshiping him. Christianity is of the devil. You are not keeping his laws because you're not serving the Most High. But understand, whether you believe me or not, believe the words of the Bible. The Most High is straightforward. He's letting you know the finality of the whole earth. So I said that Christianity was a devil, right? So let's go back. Let's go to Matthew 13. I'm going to start at verse 18. Hear you therefore the parable of the sower. Now, a sower is someone that plants a seed. So when I say it's of the devil, I'm going to back it up with the scriptures. I did earlier, for those who might just came in, we showed that Satan's ministers, under his influence, said, let's come together and take the possession of the house of God. I showed in prophecy in Deuteronomy 28, where it says that the lands that we go to for captivity, to be slaves, in that land we will serve other gods, not him. So the Most High is saying, wherever he said he would scatter us to the four corners of the earth and serve all these kingdoms. So where we at, no matter where we at on this face of the earth, we will be serving other gods, not him. So how can your religion be of God when he prophesied that it would be of the devil? Now here we go, verse 19. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom, the gospel, the doctrine of God, and understand it not, Then cometh the wicked one. Okay? And catches, no, I'm going to go a little farther. Well, that's it. Okay, verse 19. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catches away that which was sown in his heart. So when the Most High is using us to spread his message. You want people, tell people like who they are about this laws. They don't understand like what's this laws, what's the Sabbath, So when the interest is sparked, where they might pursue a further investigation, Satan comes and catches away that which was sown in his or her heart. This is he which receives seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed in stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and right away with joy receive it. Yet hath he not root in himself, but endure for a while. For when tribulations or persecution arises because of the word, because they realize they got to keep God's laws, they start changing. Satan sends his family or her friends to attack them, entice them to come away from what they're learning. Oh, they're caught. You didn't keep God's laws. The law's done away with. Come to my church. The Spirit is in there. Where am I at?
By and by. The end of 21.
Okay, end of 21. By and by he is offended or enticed. He is enticed to continue in his sins. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world. I'm too busy. Cares of this life. I don't want to quit doing this. I don't want to stop doing that. And the deceitfulness of riches. See, the deceitfulness of riches, showing that money can't give you the things you think it will. It's deceitfulness. It's deceiving. It don't bring you security. It don't give you security. It don't bring you peace. It does not solve all your problems. Choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. Stop changing. Continue in this ungodly lifestyle. But he that receives seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understands it. Realize that how he or she is living is not pleasing to God. And is convicted or pricked in their spirit. And continue in that which is good. His laws. But he that receives 23. But he that receives seed in the good ground is he that heareth the word and understands it, which also bear fruit. So they're changing every day, and bringing fruit. Some in 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Now, back to verse 40. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so it should be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they should gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them that do iniquity. So we see that there's an operation going on in the world. The Most High is giving all people an opportunity to hear his word and produce fruit. To understand it and follow him. So we see who is behind the offense. The wicked one. So if you're hearing this message and you're not receiving it, the wicked one has came and overtaken you. If you're rejecting what you're hearing, the wicked one has came and overtaking you. How you feel, your attitude, your mentality towards this message, if you are opposed to what you are hearing, the Messiah says the wicked one has overtaken you. Any excuse that you make, the wicked one has overtaken you. Be of them that are of the seed that was planted in the good soil and took root and grew and continue growing in this doctrine. 42, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There should be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then should the righteous, see the righteous, those who keep his laws, should shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who had ears to hear, let them hear. This ain't for everybody. Who has ears to hear, hear. Last precept.
Isaiah chapter 65, verses 17 through 25. Isaiah chapter 65, verses 17 through 25. Con, when everyone's there.
I got it.
Con.
Everybody there?
Con.
For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall no more be thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For a child should die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old should be accursed. So it's saying that during this process, for someone to die 100 years old, you're still like back in the day when men lived 900 some years. So somebody died 100 years old, that was like, that was strange, because that person's still like a child. But there'll be a time when the Most High would purge out the rebels. Okay? But it'd be strange for someone to die like that, you would know that they was a rebel, the one that Most High purged out. And they should build houses. See, this is not in heaven, people. This is not in heaven, okay? They should build houses and inhabit them. See, they should build houses, not the Gentiles build houses and we purchase them. But we would build houses for our families. Every man his own family. They should build houses and inhabit them. They should plant vineyards and eat the fruit thereof. Fruit of them. They should not build and another inhabit. See that? They should not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and my elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. It's not talking about the Christian church, people. These are Israelites, his people, his chosen people. How can I say that? Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 7. Verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto Ahayah thy God. Ahayah thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are on the face of the earth. Ahayah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because ye were more in number than any people, not church. For ye were the fewest of all people. But because Ahayah loved you, and because he will keep the oath which he has sworn to your fathers, have Ahayah brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. And again, he would do it a final time. Where I'm at?
Verse.
23. And it shall come to pass that no.
Over here.
1 minute. Okay. They should not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble or have miscarriages. For they are the seed of the blessed of Ahayah, and their offsprings with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain or all my holy kingdom, says Ahayah. It will go back to how it was in Adam's day. There will be peace between man and beast, and man will rule all his creatures, specifically Israelites. So the fall of Babylon and the destruction of the wicked is a righteous judgment. It's a righteous judgment by the God of love, who love his people. Those who chose to keep his commandments fear him and love him. He is about to avenge and reward them. The perfect kingdom with perfect peace and happiness and immortality with him. Ahayah bless. All hail Ahayah.
All hell Ahayah.
All hail Ahayah.
All hell Ahayah.
Let's get it.